let's switch gears a little bit. I want to take you to a place where the horses run free. It's one of only 3 ranges in the United States set aside specifically to protect wild and free roaming horses. We're heading out on horseback to the Little Book Cliffs Wild Horse area near Grand Junction as we explore Colorado.
Butterscotch is about 10 years old.
I'm riding one of Rimrock Adventure's friendliest horses. Dank, you ready? Time to saddle up and head them out and ride into the Little Book Cliffs Wild Horse Range.
36,000 acres. The primary focus is on wild horses.
Wrangler Morgan Shearer leads us down to the creek.
So now we're into the Cold Creek. Everywhere you turn, it just gets better and better. Morgan, what are you keeping an eye on to try to find the horses?
Looking for some fresh droppings.
That poop, not so fresh, right?
Not so fresh.
Morgan is looking for horse manure, otherwise known as stud piles, that are less than 24 hours old. The scenery is incredible. This rugged landscape of pinyon juniper covered hills is virtually unchanged from when the Ute Indians or pioneers of the Wild West were here.
This is awesome. This is awesome. Seeing the wild Mustangs is going to be the icing on the cake, but going through here, wow.
Our first wild Mustang sighting
Oh, they're beautiful.
is of 4 horses. There are about 150 Mustangs roaming the land.
It was a stallion mare.
And probably a 2-year-old colt. And I would say that other little filly is probably from last fall.
There's some Indian pony blood in them from the Native Americans. A good part of the bloodline is just from horses that were used for mining, ranching.
Time to ride on. We're on the hunt for water in the creek. Where there's water, there's wild Mustangs. Up on the cliff is the stallion, a beautiful black stallion. He's way more interested into munching on the grass than he is into us. We even spot some desert bighorn sheep on an opposite cliff. With the breeze blowing, Blackjack leads the way as we ride deeper into the Book Cliffs. In this area, we encounter several groups of Mustangs. We are really up close to these 3. We continue on looking for more, which we find just a few minutes farther down the trail. Here are 4 more.
You have to look closely for that one.
Make that 5.
18.
That's a lot. I cannot believe that.
We're still in search of that baby.
So onward we go, keeping our eyes peeled for a foal.
Oh,
And then he gives us a better view of him.
there he is, there he is.
He's curious about us.
Look, he's running.
On the way back, we stop and check out some of the wild Mustangs we'd already seen. We ride by these 5 and get a much closer view. As we ride on, check out the dorsal stripe on this dun horse. It is one of the most primitive markings on any horse. And you can see just how close we are to those horses on the way back. Now, we saw 22 wild Mustangs, including the foal, on our 4-hour ride with Rimrock Adventures that covered about 8 miles round trip. The Little Book Cliffs Wild Horse Range is public land. You can access it by foot, horseback, or 4-wheel high-profile vehicle. Now, Friends of the Mustangs is a volunteer organization that helps the Bureau of Land Management protect and care for the wild horse herd. They really help them by going out and helping them with adoption. They do have to select a couple of the horses every year, every couple of years, to maintain the health of the herd. So they'll go in and they'll pick those out, and then the Friends of the Mustangs will help gather them, train them, and then adopt them out. And I hear that some of these wild Mustangs are some of the best horses out there once they're trained. But you guys ask all the time, what ranks in your favorites?
Sure.
This is one of those, because of that experience being there where the Ute Indians were, where the pioneers were, and seeing, you don't get to see this very often, wild horses just roaming the land, and just an incredible. I would put it high on your list. And Little Book Cliffs very close to Grand Junction, so about 3 hours and 45 minutes from Denver.
That was cool.
Yeah. Have you ever seen a horse with a stripe on the back like that?
No.
The dorsal stripe?
Maybe at some point.
Very faint, yeah. But that one was so striking, and you can really see it. And we were at times just with it. I mean, like I am to you, close. But
they're dangerous. You
gotta watch them. But we were on horseback, and I would highly suggest that's the way to go see them. So, guys, let me take you out.